Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have topics that range from comical to Eminem doing the usual. And as always, if you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll start with Billboard. And if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know I have covered stories like this one in the past, of Billboard trying to pull a fast one on us, thinking no one will notice. I remember the last time, on their 2010s decade end list for hip-hop/R&B, Eminem didn't make the top 10 in Billboard's decade list, and artists like Trey Songz ranked higher. That was odd because in the decade before, they used facts to rank artists, but as recent reports have shown, they no longer care about that, or maybe they changed the formula to push out artists like Eminem, and a more recent report builds on my theory that they can't stand Eminem in particular. Billboard staff recently put out a list of the top 50 best albums of 2020 so far, and thanks to a user on Twitter I got to find out about this, and even before I checked it out, I knew for a fact that Eminem's latest album wasn't on the list. Clicked it and I was correct. Now remember that when Eminem put out Kamikaze and it shocked his critics, he included Billboard's quotes from their Kamikaze review that stated, blaming everyone except himself. And since then I took it upon myself to cover how Billboard have tackled news relating to Eminem, and it's clear that the staff have a bone to pick with Eminem. And here's a couple of albums that made the list that doesn't include Eminem's latest album, pretty much all the biggest albums to release in 2020 except for one. Changes by Justin Bieber, EA by Uzi, Dark Lane demo tapes by Drake, High of Life by Future, Chromatica by Lady Gaga, Map of the Soul 7 by BTS, After Hours by The Weeknd. And as you'd have guessed by now, you've noticed the pattern of what I'm trying to reveal by mentioning those albums. Those are some of the biggest album releases of 2020 so far, and take a look at Spotify's biggest first day releases of 2020. All the albums on this list made Billboard's staff pick but one. So for those that have been following this channel, we have another one to add to the list of many other points that reveal Billboard staff have it in for Eminem. And when Eminem drops an album, how can you trust a site like Billboard to review it objectively as a fan? This is laughable at this point, and they don't even try to hide it anymore. And this point in this video is not to criticize the list of the staff, it's just to add to what we already know about Eminem and the MSM. They want him gone, and we have too many examples. Like, what are the chances that in the 10 biggest debuts of 2020 so far, only one album misses out of their top 50? Certainly not coincidence at this point. And we move on to the next topic at hand, that shows the fans remain in control regardless of antiques to bury Eminem. In 2020, Eminem has now surpassed 1.5 billion on-demand audio streams in the United States, and that roughly translates to 1 million equivalent albums sold from on-demand audio streams in the country. And Eminem remains one of the most streamed artists in the United States so far. Of that number, nearly half is from Eminem's latest album according to figures from Heat's Daily Double, which shows his catalog remains alive. And here's how a few reacted to the news on Twitter. One user dropped some sarcasm, but nobody listens to Eminem in 2020. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but in regards to Billboard staff, ain't that the truth? Here's a list of the 50 most popular albums to release in 2020. We'll call it the best 50 albums list, but exclude one particular album. A user in the replies was talking about the silence when it comes to Eminem. Watch the media outlets not cover this, except Hot New Hip Hop. I don't see anybody talking about how Music to Be Murdered By reached 1 billion streams, yet they would cover this stuff for any other artist. Well, I can't speak for this particular milestone, but when Music to Be Murdered By hit 1 billion, it made Eminem the first artist in Spotify history to have 10 albums cross that milestone, and it got pretty much no coverage from major outlets, so I have to agree. In the end, it doesn't matter, and it's quite comical to an extent. And as long as the fans show support, it's all good. But one thing's for sure, when Eminem doesn't promote his project, at least we can count on the LSM to also do the same, that's for sure. Unless it's news that paints Eminem negatively, that spreads like wildfire. So Eminem tops 1.5 billion on-demand audio streams in the United States in 2020. Share your thoughts on this and Billboard's comic relief in this period. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.